Rebounded tonight for Terrence Williams, and now Michigan with a 3-point lead and 1:20 to play.
I'm not sure I like this approach here.
Dickinson with a screen. McDaniel into the paint. Floater.
That's why I'm a commentator, not a player. Great play and great call.
Stephen Bardo didn't like it, but he liked it after it went in. Welcome in. Thanks for the audio. That's how it sounded there on the Big Ten Network just moments ago. It was the freshman Doug McDaniel with it being a 3-point game, making that floater in the lane. And then Michigan would score 5 straight more points after that deuce there by McDaniel, and they would win it 79-69 final. It is the Michigan Basketball Postgame Live Big Ten Edition 2023. We're ready to go, and we're here after every Michigan basketball game talking about the Wolverines. And, we were sitting here on Thursday. Michigan lost to Central Michigan, and it wasn't a pretty game. And Michigan came out, and they played Maryland on Sunday, and they responded well in that game. They looked really good. They fought hard. It's completely different, 180 from the way they played against the Chippewas, and then they followed it up with an impressive performance tonight against Penn State. So, this is what you're looking for if you're a Michigan fan. 2 impressive performances in Big Ten play, and hopefully away they go. Now they head to East Lansing on Saturday for a matinee against the Spartans, and it's Michigan. They say they're back. They had nice back-to-back games, though. That's for sure. You can always put your feedback in if you want to get a point in what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like. You want to look ahead. You want to look back. You want to do anything. That's why I'm here. And hearing from the people, I watch the game. I take notes. I'm listening. I'm watching. And, you're doing the same thing. Maybe not taking notes, but you want to talk some Michigan basketball. You can do that. Let's recap this one. We'll get into it. Take some notes, as I mentioned during the game. There it is, the final 79-69. Michigan improves to 9-5 overall and 3-0 in the Big Ten with these back-to-back wins. Remember, they played Minnesota to start things out a little bit back in 2022. Penn State, a pretty good record, and it falls to 11-4 and 2-2. Some of the things that I looked at, heading into this game, 2 teams pretty similar when you looked at the Ken Pom ratings. Michigan just 2 behind Penn State, who checked in at 44. Penn State was 46, and those Ken Pom numbers that come out and are updated daily. Michigan played a pretty good first half. They were up 8, 42-34. Should have been up 11. The Penn State Nittany Lion player firing up a half-court shot, contested right at the buzzer, and he drained it to make it just an 8-point lead. Michigan had led by 11 a couple times before that, but had a balanced scoring attack. Looked pretty good in the first half. They were active. Hunter Dickinson was in double figures. Kobe Buffkin had a nice first half. He continues his good play. He had 8 points, and then Michigan had some help off the bench in the first half. Terrace Reed Jr. came in, gave him 4, gave him some nice minutes, and had 4 points. Joey Baker, drained 2 threes in the first half, so he had 6 off the bench. So Michigan was looking pretty good, up 8. Then there were some runs in the second half. You expect that in college basketball. Penn State put on 11-0 run. They ended up tying the game 5 minutes into the second half at 47, but then Michigan slapped an 11-point run on them. And we're back up by 11, 58-47. There was a point where Hunter Dickinson, started bleeding through the nose. They had to stop the game, maybe his mouth. I don't know. He's blood all over his face. And they cleaned the floor up for a few minutes there, and it was bleeding so much. You're thinking, well, maybe, who knows if he'll have to sit out or whatever. Just for a minute, you're thinking that. I don't want to make it, go too crazy on that. But he was okay. Got a stopper up the right nose or whatever else. And Dickinson had a good game. Couple runs in this one. Then the Lions had one more in them. They came back within 3 with just over 4 to play, and that's when Doug McDaniel hit this floater on the Big Ten Network. You got the audio here.
Williams, and now
Very nice play by McDaniel. They called his number.
I'm not sure I like this approach here.
Bardo didn't like it.
Dickinson with a screen. McDaniel into the paint. Floater.
That's why I'm a commentator, not a player.
There you go. And so I'd say that was the biggest shot of the game. Michigan 7 straight there when it was 72-69. And that's how they closed out the game to win it. So that's how it went down at the Crisler Center. Let's take a look at some of those numbers in this game. And we start out looking at the big man, Hunter Dickinson, 17 points, 6 boards, 6 of 10 from the floor, 5 of 9 from the stripe. You'd like to see him do a little bit better there. He was maybe a little bit winded at the end. That's what at least the announcers thought. Hey, put in a lot of minutes, maybe missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Never a good sign there, but Hunter did a good job defensively. There's been some times this year where you see him chasing and running around, and you're thinking, wow, maybe even looking a little slow-footed. But that wasn't the case tonight. He was he had a little bounce in his step. Maybe he took it personally since Thursday. He certainly had 2 impressive games against Maryland. He came within one. He had 32 points. He came within one of a career high, and then put up a 17-6 effort here tonight. I mentioned Kobe Buffkin. He's been playing well. He had 14, 6, and 5. It's a nice stat line, and he looked. He's Jet Howard has been there really since the beginning, but Kobe Buffkin is now a nice, when you want to call it a 1-2-3 punch, 1-2 punch, whatever you want to look at. He's come along and he's come around, and he looks more confident almost every time you watch him play. He can get his own shot a little bit. I didn't know he could do that. Certainly last year, I didn't know he could do that. This year, with that confidence, he's not just shooting jumpers. He's driving. He's looking pretty good. Jet is, he'll take it. He had a couple shots that he missed in a row and missed one badly, but then he comes back, man, and he has the confidence to line one up and take a big shot and knock it down. And, Jet, 14 points, 7 boards, 2 assists. You like what you see from him. And then Doug McDaniel, 12, 4, and 4. McDaniel is nice. He's fun to watch. We know that. And, he's only a freshman, so he's going to get a lot better. And he hit the biggest shot of the game tonight, so that's a good sign there for the Michigan point guard. Terrence Williams I don't think he had a bucket at the break. And, I'm thinking, they just got to get a little bit more from TW2. But Terrence Williams made some nice plays in the second half, and he's got a little, like a spurt. He hit a 3. He almost hit another 3 when he got an offensive rebound, and he is good on the glass. 8 points and 9 boards. You always want a little bit more there from TW2, but you saw it in spurts tonight. The rest of it, the bench, what Michigan has not been getting much production at all from. Joey Buckets serves up 9 points on 3 of 6 shooting from downtown. That's what you're looking for from Buckets. If you could tell me you could get 3 3-pointers, give me 3 of 6 every night from Joey Baker. That's what I'm talking about. And Terrace, Reed Jr., I like him. He's got a Big Ten body already. He's athletic. He's only getting better. I like him. He's a good player. He's physically ready to go. And he had 5 points and pretty short bench. Isaiah Barnes, people wanted to see a little bit more of him. He was in there, didn't do a whole lot. Jace Howard came in, grabbed a couple boards, was playing some defense. That was the rotation tonight. Michigan went 9 deep, but, really in the second half, I don't think I saw Jace in the second half, and maybe just Reed for a second. I mean, they're just going 6-7 deep, but no Cheddar tonight. And, that's it. That's the box score. That's how it looked for the Wolverines in this one. So nice job coming back here from Juwan Howard and company after things looked really bad on Thursday. It's the nature of the game. You have a really bad one. You have a clunker, you come back. work hard in practice, and then, people are doubting you and you show them what's up. And that's what Michigan has done. Now it's a different story because they go on the road. And let's look at that upcoming schedule that Michigan has. And it's brought to you by Mason Blue Reviews Good Afternoon Michigan Football, which is a live show at 1:00 on the channel that you're watching right now. And we'll be with you tomorrow at 1:00. Guess what we'll be looking at? Looking at the latest Jim Harbaugh news, whether he's staying or going. Will he head to the NFL like many a lot of people outside Ann Arbor, a lot of people inside of Ann Arbor think he's going. And, 2 days ago, I was thinking he was more likely to go than not. Then, today it changed a little bit where I felt like maybe he was going to stay. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow about it, how you're feeling about it tomorrow, as well as that continues on. That's 1:00 tomorrow. That upcoming schedule, here it is. So we take a look at it. Michigan is on the road, and they will head up to the Jack Breslin Center for a matinee this Saturday against Michigan State. Always fun, always must see, always a nice barometer of just where the program is at. You always start thinking about the state of Michigan, the recruiting in Michigan, taking stock in where you're at. I mean, you don't want to put too much into it, but you do take a lot. I mean, however you do it. I think a lot of people, this is Michigan's litmus test here to see if they really have, if they are like, want to show something. If they were able to go up there, I don't know, predicting a win, they win, then they really have shown something. But, I'm expecting the fight all the way to the end. Let's see if they're ready to do that because, State with their fans, they're going to be ready on Saturday. So we look forward to that. A week from tomorrow, Michigan will be in Iowa City taking on the Hawkeyes. So 2 road games, and then they'll be back on Sunday, a week from Sunday, back in the friendly confines of the Crisler Center. And they will bring in the Northwestern Wildcats. So that's it. That's what's happening. That's how it looks for U of M. Any grand statements from the team tonight? I like how Hunter Dickinson, Dickinson, sometimes when you watch him and, he's so big and he gets the ball down low and you're thinking like he should make every shot. And sometimes he's missing some good ones or some easy ones, what look like easy ones. And you're just like, you got to make some of those. He's not going to make all of them, but, he just makes a few more and then he's active. Tonight, Michigan would drive, they'd get in a pick and roll and Dickinson would dive to the basket. And he would look for the offensive rebound on a couple, he slammed him back. He was right there. Johnny on the spot and put him back. Just a little bit more active. Seemed like he had a little bit more jump in his step. Already mentioned Kobe Buffkin, like what he brought tonight. And also Doug McDaniel hitting that big shot for the Maize and Blue when they needed it the most. Up 3 with 1 minute to go. Floater in the lane from McDaniel, who can pass the ball, but he's got, he's quick enough. He gets open. He reminds me a little bit of a guard who was just a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, but was an All-American and led North Carolina to a championship back when the Final Four was at Ford Field. And that's Ty Lawson. Ty Lawson was a little bit more muscular and maybe probably just a little bit taller, but a kind of a game where he's fast enough and has control of the ball enough where, he can score. And, McDaniel at times, I see some flashes. Also, there was a guard a few years ago, same size, similar type size there. I'd have to look and see what his height was, but I think he was from Detroit and then went to Oregon, played in the pros for a few years. Brooks. I'll look and see. Dylan Brooks, maybe? Something Brooks. I'll see. I was thinking of that tonight as I was watching the game as well. Well, basketball fans, we're here after every Michigan basketball game, and we will see you Saturday after Michigan takes on Michigan State. For those that like to kick it around every day in the afternoon, you ever want to check it out wherever you're at live at 1:00. We're here talking about the latest in Michigan sports. We'll do that tomorrow at 1:00. Until then, everybody have a great night Michigan, they win this one by 10, 79-69. There are the particulars. And they move to 9-5 on the season and 3-0 in the Big Ten. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk with you tomorrow.